Hi, this is Ariana Antonio, and this is my post-mortem video. So in terms of the development process this month, it was pretty straightforward. The first development week, once everything had been I mostly just did UI elements, kind of setting up the design of the app and kind of getting things in place, the skeleton of the app and that sort of thing. And then the next week was really when the bulk of the work was done, passing all the data back and forth and creating a custom adapter for my grid view. But yeah, that was most of it, pulling all the API information and allowing searches and that sort of thing was the bulk of the app, and that was all week 2. And then week 3 was a few more touching up on UI elements and then implementing the view pager so that you can swipe left and right through a list. There was a lot of challenges this month. This month in general was challenging. I purposely, even though my app is very simple, I still wanted to implement some features that I didn't know how to use, and so that therefore I could learn something new this month. So I worked with a navigation drawer. I created, again, a custom adapter for my grid view, and I used a view pager, and those were all things I hadn't done before, so I learned a lot with those. And those are my accomplishments as well. It was especially the view pager. I was glad to implement that since I do think it improved a lot on the usability of my app, but at the same time, it was a little intimidating since I'd never really implemented anything like it. I haven't really done anything even with swipe gestures yet, so it was scary getting into it, but ultimately I got it working and it wasn't too bad by the end. My app is okay. It is very simple, and I do think it could use some extra functionality. I do wish my API allowed posts to it, to the website, which, the creators of the website are very open and easy to contact, so I'm considering talking to them and seeing if I can get them. It's still in beta too, so I might be able to get them to add some posts to it. And then I think it would make it a much more useful app for a lot of people. But as of now, I think it's still a great way to look at great pictures of astrophotography. I've personally saved a lot of favorites in the app of photos that are just gorgeous, and it's a great way to go just look at gorgeous pictures of space and get inspiration to take some. And just working with it has made me want to get more into astrophotography. So I think it's a useful app, but it just could be more useful. In terms of lessons, I mean, I don't know, mostly just about more research, in terms of implementing new things, like the view pager, I certainly would, I think it's great, but at the same time, there's not as much information out there on it, and I would have liked to, I don't know how to Google view pager, or I mean, I do, but in the beginning, would it be like, oh, wouldn't it be great if you could swipe, a lot of the learning is just knowing that these things are out there. I can learn how to do them on my own through the documentation that's available, but sometimes I wouldn't even know to look it up because I don't know that it exists, so I'm glad that I know about that, and just working with that and getting more and more comfortable with the Android documentation, so I can rely a little bit more on that and a little bit less on like Stack Overflow. I think was really helpful. I learned a lot about that, and I made a few more strides in working with the debugger and stuff like that this month. So I definitely learned a lot, although it was a very challenging, very stressful month. But I wanted to build an app that, at least for me personally, would be a challenge. Not just something super easy or something that I would break my back doing either, but something that I could learn a few new features on, and I think I did that. So I'm happy with it. Yeah, so I guess that's it for the month. Thanks.